When working with Visual Basic for applications, there is a good chance that you will need to use a lot of operators. Operators allow us to work with your variables and constants to combine them in some way. Now you can see here in the operators file that I've placed in the working folder, we have a plus for addition, so for adding values together, a little star, asterisk for multiplication, a forward slash for division, so dividing by, a minus sign for subtraction, a little hat, which is above your 6 on keyboards for power of, exponential, the ampersand symbol for concatenation, for the sticking together of values, usually used with strings, but can be used with numerics. A backslash only gives you the integer return, so it doesn't give you the decimal places. And then mod, which actually gives you the decimal places when you do a divide. So it's effectively the leftover values after all the whole numbers are taken away. And then finally, the most important one, the assignment operator. The equal sign is what actually places a value inside a variable. So I've set up a little sub-procedure here where we can declare some variables. Let's try a couple of long, so dim x and dim y as long, and then dim result as double. That way we're allowing for the fact that perhaps some of these operators will create decimal places even if the starting values are integers. So let's define x as 5 and y as 6. That will make the math easier to follow. And then result equal. So we've seen here the assignment operator. We are assigning 5 to x and we are assigning 6 to y. We're then going to assign the result of some calculation to result. Now our calculation, let's use these in order, is x plus y, and we'll output the result in our message box so we can see if it works. We come down to the immediate window, return. So we're looking for x plus y, x is 5, y is 6, the result should be 11. Hey presto, 11. We can then change that operator to multiplication, come down and run again. Now we're looking at 5 times 6, 30. I'm doing okay so far. Divide. So if we place x forward slash y, that's x divided by y. So 5 divided by 6 will give me a number of decimal places, 0.833333333. It works. Subtract. Minus 1. So 5 minus 6. And the last of the math one here is the exponential. So that's now 5 to the power 6. Return 15,625. I'll leave you to work out if that's correct. So that's 5 times 5, 6 times. We can then try our concatenation symbol out and see what we get. What do you think the result of this will be? 56. Because what it does is it takes the value of x, which is 5, and concatenates, so sticks on it. It carries out no mathematical calculation. It simply takes the values of one variable and appends them to the value of the next. So we end up with 5 and 6 just right next to each other, which looks like 56 in the result, but actually isn't. It's just a 5 and a 6 next to each other. Let's try the backslash. And we end up with a 0. Because 5 divided by 6 is actually less than 1, so there is no integer value. And then the last of our operators to try is the mod. It goes in the same place as our others, so it's x mod y, which gives us 5. So if we look at the maths behind that, we've got 5 divided by 6 doesn't go, leaves us 5, which is why mod returns 5. So these are your operators: plus, multiply, divide, minus, power of, stick together, concatenate, integer divide, and mod, and they all work quite happily. They can even work together, but that's when things can get a little bit messy. So if we were to say x plus y times z, we need to declare z, dim z as long, z equals 3. Let's keep these numbers low. So now we're saying x plus y times z. So it's 5 plus 6 times 3. What do you think the result will be? We get 23. X plus y is 11 times 3 is 33. We're not getting 33, we're getting 23. The reason we're getting 23 is because Excel and the VBA don't look at a formula and work left to right, which is sort of the logical process for a human. It looks at the whole formula and prioritizes what it should carry out first. And in fact, it carries out the multiplication first. That's why we get 3 times 6, which is 18, plus 5 is 23. If you want the formula to work in the order you expect it to or would like it to, then you need to start introducing brackets. So if I were to put brackets around x plus y, then it would carry out the x plus y first, then do the times 3. So we've got x plus y is 11 times 3 is 33. The result will now be 33. So when you start to combine these together, you need to think about the order that you're using them. If we go back up to our operators here, brackets are at the top. So anything in brackets gets carried out first. Then we shouldn't have addition there. Let's move that down. Then actually exponential. So if I put my addition in there and move the exponential up there, it's exponential after brackets, then multiplication and divide. It doesn't actually matter which order those two occur in because you'll get the same result. Then addition and subtraction. Again, it doesn't actually matter what order those two occur in because you get the same result. It's when you start mixing this pair with this option that you might not get the result you were expecting if you work on a left to right analogy. That's when you need to start introducing brackets. We've already seen that you can concatenate numeric values together, or you can concatenate string characters in there as well. So I could add into here dim text as string, and then we could set text to be equal to the answer is. I would then need to change my result here. My result cannot be a double if I want to put this text little bit in here. So I need to put in text result as string, and then I can define my text result is actually going to be equal to my text and my result. And then we'll actually output in the message box the text result, which is contents of text, which is this string here, stick on, concatenate the actual numeric result. So I've stuck two different data types together there. We run the test and we get the answer is 33. So that's concatenating text and number values together into one variable, which must then be a string because it contains the characters. So these are your operators, fairly straightforward, the same as you would perhaps have used at school, so not so difficult to pick up. The thing to remember is the brackets if you are using multiple operators in the same equation. That really is a big thing to remember. You can use more brackets than you actually need if it makes the logic for you easier to follow, as long as your brackets always match up. So there's always an open and always a close. Then you just got to remember these and when to use them.